Roderick, I really need to talk to you. You're supposed to be my husband, and you're taking a while to reply to me. Where are you right now?
What do you mean, where am I? You know, I'm here, there, and anywhere. I'm just hanging around, you get what I'm saying, right?
Why are you being so vague with me right now? This isn't making me feel good. I would like to know where my own husband is, please. Considering you've already spent half the week wandering aimlessly and keeps avoiding me, you're just walking around and not coming home. What's going on?
You know what, dear? I'm going to enlighten you with something. You've always told me that you don't want to be told what to do when you're out and about. You've said that pretty plainly on multiple occasions. So why don't you quit bothering me about my location and what I'm doing? It makes me feel so sick to the stomach. I'm not coming home this evening, okay?
Why are you acting like such a child? Are you for real? You're not coming home again tonight? What is the meaning of all of this?
Would you quit complaining about my actions? I don't do this to you at all. You've got to let a man breathe, for goodness sake. Stop bringing all this negativity into the conversation. I'm so done with it.
I think I have every right to complain when you're the one who isn't coming home night after night. You know, it makes me suspicious. Do you have a new lover or something?
Really? Are you seriously asking me that question right now? And so what if I did? I can do what I want when I want. If anything, you should think again about how to say things to me. How about you do some self-reflection, especially when it comes to whose income you're using to feed yourself?
Excuse me? I'm the one who needs self-reflection? Are you insane? You don't think you're even remotely in the wrong here? How can you be like this to me?
I'm the breadwinner here, Melinda. I'm the one doing all the hard work, earning money, and looking after your parents since they live here with us. You got no right to say anything bad towards what I do outside this family. I already do so much. Don't forget that your parents could be living on the streets right now if it weren't for me.
Why are you acting like this? I'm allowed to ask questions, and I want straight answers, which you aren't giving. Are you seriously saying all of this right now against my parents?
Yes, I am, and I'm done here with this conversation. I need some peace and quiet. I'm done with your crap. See ya, and wouldn't wanna be ya.
Well, I'm really not surprised by how you've betrayed me right now. Of course you're having an affair. I can't go on like this anymore. I want a divorce, please. I don't want to be with someone who just screws me over and treats me like crap.
Excuse me? What are you talking about? Why would you want to divorce me now when you were suspicious of me in the first place?
Wow, Roderick. It's not like you're even trying to hide things from me anymore, huh? It's like you want me to find out and just make me feel miserable. In the last 6 months alone, you've been with 5 other people whilst still being married to me. It was too easy to find out about them.
What are you saying? You've already seen me with 5 other people? What are you, stalking me or something? Have you been watching me in my every move? Do you realize how creepy that is?
I don't need to stalk you to know what's going on. You've been doing this in plain sight. There were some days that you hooked up with 3 different women on the same day. I don't need to follow you everywhere when you're not even hiding your identity.
Just face the facts, Melinda. You were following me everywhere. How else could you have known that I was with so many people and when I was with them?
It wasn't me who was following you, Roderick. I used a private investigator to do that.
You used a private investigator to track my whereabouts? Is this some kind of joke? Where did you get the money to spend that on? You didn't spend my own well-earned money, did you? I feel like that is something that you would do to me, typical of you as a woman.
No, I didn't spend a single cent of your income on this. I used my own savings. The amount of money that you earn is not enough to cover it anyways.
Hold on a sec, what? What do you mean I earn quite a lot of money? I earn quite a bit, thank you very much. Do you think I don't earn that much?
Do you really think so, Roderick? I'm not joking here. I'm being pretty serious. It's a paltry sum of money that you earn.
Wow, you're really saying something like that to me right now. How rude can you get? You don't understand how kind I was to not even bring up divorce with you, even though I've got another woman. Because I know I would leave you penniless and on the streets with your parents.
Really, Roderick? You think you're doing me a favor by being kind to me and not filing for a divorce? What a joke. There is no way a person can be kind if they're always cheating on their wife with another woman.
How is that not being kind? I'm not bothering you and you can do whatever you want. Don't you recognize that?
Look, Roderick, are you going to divorce me or not? That's all I came to ask for. I've already prepared the divorce papers, so all you need to do is sign on the dotted line. and then we don't have to be in each other's pockets ever again. I'd like you to come back sometime next week and sign the papers. Could you at least do that? It's not hard.
Is that all you really want? A divorce? Fine, I guess I'll have to give it to you. It'll be nice to not have to bother about you anymore. However, if you do want a divorce from me, take your parents and all 3 of the kids and leave my premises. There'll be no property distribution, no alimony, and no child support from me. Got it?
Yeah, okay, whatever you say. Roderick, I just want this divorce finalized and you out of my life.
Huh? What? Are you serious? You're just gonna accept my conditions? Wow, I feel like I've just created a masterpiece. Okay, let's get this done. I'll come home during the weekend and sign the divorce papers. It'll be so incredibly easy.
Alright, I'll see you in the weekend then. We have an agreement. Don't back out on it.
Why would I? I want this too, you know? Things are gonna get very interesting now. Alright, so then when do you guys plan on leaving my house?
Huh? Excuse me? What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about, Melinda? So don't ha me in that stupid way that you do.
No, I didn't think that question would come from you, Roderick.
Hey, you're kinda funny, but this isn't the time to mess with me, Melinda. Did you actually think that you were gonna make me sign the divorce papers so haphazardly? It's quite hilarious when you say that you want a divorce, but you're not even ready to move and not even ready to leave my property. I'm laughing so much that I could break a rib right now.
Have you actually gone crazy, Roderick? Do I actually have to deal with more crap from you?
What crap, Melinda? What are you on about? Don't you know I have every right to speak to you like this? Considering you're the one wanting a divorce from me. You think you're very funny. I don't think I'm crazy, okay?
Would you quit being like this towards me? It's stressing me out. Are you actually okay? For some reason, I'm worried about this when I shouldn't.
Okay, fine. Here's what I'm going to do. Since this situation can't be helped, I have no choice but to give you 2 months. I'm making a conscious decision to not go anywhere near this house for 2 months. In the meantime, you'll need to find a new place, and all you have to do is leave to that new place and never return here.
Okay, well, what should I do with all the things you've left behind? If I have to leave, I might have no choice but to dispose of what's here.
Wait, what? You're gonna throw out all the things I have here? Well, look at you. Is this your last chance at showing your bravado? If you want to dispose of everything, then so be it. But I'm not going anywhere near you when I shouldn't have to.
So, you're saying that it's okay for me to throw your things in the garbage? You're going to let me do that?
If you can't do it, then do it! I only wish that I could watch you do that. I can just imagine how you would look when you did that.
Well, alright then, if you say so. Roderick, if you've got everything that you need, then I'll get rid of the things here. Please come and collect it next week if you change your mind.
Yeah, Melinda, whatever you say. Anyway, I'm sure that you're really gonna throw out all my things. I'm sure you would just love to do that.
Well, on that note, I'm going to go over to the courthouse now. I'll hand over all the papers to the judge, and then we'll be officially divorced.
Yeah, Melinda, you just go and do that. Run along. Well, I guess it's almost time for you to leave. Get out of my sight. I can't wait to be a free man.
Melinda, are you there? I've got something to share with you. I've got some good news for you, my dear daughter.
Hi, Mom. It's been one heck of a day for me. What's going on? What's the good news?
I got a call from a friend of mine who's a real estate agent. I think I've told you about this friend before, maybe? Anyway, my friend said that they have found a property that matched our desired criteria. Isn't that fantastic news?
Oh my god, really? That was so fast. How did they manage that?
They worked their magic, I suppose. Apparently, we can move into the property immediately.
Okay, if I take a look inside the property and everything is up to scratch, can I do away with the weekly apartment contract that I was thinking of as like a temporary housing for us?
Yeah, I think that should be fine. I see no problem with that at all.
Okay, cool. Well then, it looks like we'll be seeing a new property and moving into it very soon. This is great! Great!
I'll contact my real estate friend right away so we can see the property and deal with all that business so we can move in.
Thank you, Mom. That would be greatly appreciated.
By the way, are you also preparing for what's about to follow? It's going to be tough, but I know how strong you are.
Of course, yes! The result of the private investigations are extremely detailed, so I think I know what I need to do now. I've already requested for the matter to be dealt with. I'm looking forward to the next 2 months. I'm going to take back what is mine, and he'll never see it coming.
Wow, Melinda. I hope it all goes in your favor, my dear. Good luck.
Hey, Melinda, are you there now? It's been 2 months now. Have you moved out yet, or what? I want my property back.
Oh, it's you. We've already moved out like 2 months ago.
Really? You've already left? Then why does the place look like it does?
Maybe it's because we actually moved out a while ago and it's in that state because no one has been there for 2 months. Can you think about that?
Oh, yeah, that's very true. I didn't put a lot of thought into that. I just didn't want you there anymore. When all my women heard about my divorce, they had a hard time of letting me go. It was just so hard to choose who I wanted to be with after our divorce. Tomorrow, the breadwinner will return with the woman who has finally been chosen to be my new bride. I already have a new candidate, and she'll be a great wife.
Okay. I don't really need to hear all of that. But you do you, Roderick, since you're a free man, of course.
But it's so great, I don't gotta spend all my hard-earned cash on feeding you or the family or anyone else for that matter. I just need to take care of myself and my next lady. Well, I just wanted to say that I'm really happy that we got the divorce finalized.
Okay. Is that right, Roderick? Well, good to see that you're so happy about it. You really can just do whatever you like now.
This is the life. It's too late to go back on this now. I hope you're not gonna regret this. You're a bit slow acting if you want me back now.
No, I think I'm good. It was a good decision. I got what I came here for, which of course was divorce.
Wow, you're really showing all your strength now, huh? That's so funny. Well, thank you very much for your hard work, you know. Enjoy taking care of your parents and the 3 kids without any money coming into your account. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, good luck, and you're gonna need it while you living on the streets. Melinda, pick up your phone! This isn't funny anymore, Melinda. Hey, answer your dang phone! I gotta talk to you right now!
What on earth could this possibly be about right now? You better explain to me right this instant why I have some 200 missed calls and texts from you.
Could you tell? I'm trying to blow up your phone right now! I'm trying to get your attention here!
I see. Well, in that case, I guess that I'm just so grateful I made sure to silence my phone today then.
And what is that supposed to mean, huh? Why would you do that? I'm trying to reach you and tell you that you couldn't even hear all the phone calls and texts coming in.
No, I really couldn't, and now I almost regret even bothering to check my phone. I mean, what on earth could you possibly need to talk to me so badly about? Or is it just now you're finally starting to figure things out?
Don't you play coy with me. I want an answer and I want them right now. What happened to my house and why is it not there anymore? It's just a lot.
Sorry, did you just call it your house? I'm afraid that I don't know what you're talking about in that case. After all, the deed for the house that you and I lived in was under my dad's name and we were just renting it from him. You did already know all of that though, didn't you?
Wait, what? What are you talking about? That was my house!
It isn't, and there isn't even a house to be had anymore. The land was sold to a developer and it's going to be used to build some kind of apartment buildings or something like that.
But I don't get it. We were renting it under my name. My name was on the lease. How could this be happening?
I'm going to stop you right there. Your name might have been on the lease, but let's make one thing clear here. You old make $2,000 a month, and the rent for that place was $2,500. So I really don't see why you thought it was ever yours.
Wait, what? What do you mean? The rent was really that high? But I had no idea about that at all.
Really? You really didn't even know how much the place you were living costs.
But, I mean, I was the one who was working, and everyone else was just living off of me, right? It wasn't fair. I hated living like that.
I see. Well, I really, really hate to be the one to break it to you, but you are very mistaken about that.
Mistaken? What do you mean? Wait, hold on. What did I get wrong? It's the truth. I know what my life is, thank you very much.
You are right about me not working. That is true, but it was only because I was on maternity leave. I was always going to go back to work, but I just happened to be lucky enough to work for a company that really emphasizes a good work-life balance. So even though I wasn't physically going into the office, they were letting me do some work from home from time to time.
Wait, really? You mean that you were actually working this whole time? I didn't know. That isn't fair. I really had no idea.
Well, it's the truth. And you should also know that I happen to make about double what you do, even while working from home.
You gotta be kidding me. Do you really make that much more than me?
That's right. And you have one more thing that you've been getting wrong about this whole thing. My dad owns the company that I work for.
Wait a second. Your dad owns the company that you work for? You mean that he's not just some unemployed geezer?
He was never an unemployed geezer, as you call him. You just decided that in your head without looking into the truth at all. But the fact is that when we got married, he had already made the arrangements for employees to be able to work from home, and to help encourage people to take advantage of it if they wanted to. He started working from home more and more as well. So basically, both of us were just doing our same jobs, but from home.
I don't know what to say to that. I'm shocked. I really had no idea about any of that.
That isn't true either. I know for a fact that I told you about this when we got married. It isn't our fault you weren't listening.
But I don't get it. If your dad and you both had jobs, then why did he come and live with us? I mean, I thought that we were both gonna live on your own, and that if we ever lived with our parents, it'd be when they were much older. This whole time I just thought that you were letting our dad live with us because he didn't have any more. And that's why your mom and dad were living with us, isn't it?
Oh, right. Well, that actually reminds me of something I almost forgot to tell you.
What is it? What is it you want to tell me?
You do know how I had triplets, don't you?
What are you talking about? That isn't what we're here to discuss right now. We were talking about your parents and not your children.
But the fact that I was having my third child has everything to do with what's going on. Oh, just think about it. All of a sudden, I'm supposed to be taking care of 3 kids at once. I just wouldn't be able to handle that. Even I wasn't working at all, it would still be way too difficult for me. That's why I asked my parents if they would want to move in with us. I knew that I would need their help as taking care of all these children.
So then, why was it that you were in the hospital right before they moved in?
If you really must know now, it was because I was feeling so exhausted and strung out and that I actually fainted from being so tired.
Really? But I didn't know that was why you wanted it.
And you never even bothered asking me either, remember? That's when I knew that I wouldn't be able to count on you and went to my parents. But you just went on making all the assumptions about the situation that you wanted. And then you went further and kept cheating on me.
But you have to see things from my way too, right? I mean, I thought that I was the only one working. I thought that I was just taking care of a whole family all on one salary. I was just so upset.
If you think that excuse is going to get you out of trouble, then you're dead wrong. Because every gripe, insults, and all your sleeping around were all based on a false promise to begin with.
But then, what's gonna happen now? We don't even have a house together.
We? There's no more we anymore. You're right. There's no more house. You're right. There's no more house. And that's because there isn't a place for you in the family anymore.
So then, that's it? We're just through?
Almost. There is still a divorce to talk about. And you are going to pay for all that reckless behavior as cost, including for your affairs too.
Oh, wait, you're just gonna leave me homeless, divorce me, and then force me to pay you? You can't do that, please!
I'm sorry, but my mind is made up. The next you hear from me will be through my lawyer. In the end, Roderick was forced into a corner and knew that he had no choice but to sign the divorce papers. While we met at my lawyer's office, my mom and dad were at home taking care of the triplets. Roderick was forced deep into debt to pay all the legal fees, and I heard that he even ended up borrowing from some shady sources. I have no idea what he's up to now, but ever since we got divorced, it's like he's completely fallen off of the map. As for me, I've been enjoying the peace and quiet when I'm able to. It'd still be a while before I'm back to my office since I have my hands full with my children, but I'm glad to be with such understanding and loving family.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, you! Ronald! I've just got one thing to say to you. You're fired.
Huh? What's happening? Oh, good morning, Mr. Potter, sir. What's with this all of a sudden? I don't understand what's going on, sir.
There was a huge mistake done in the Woods Company project, and it's your fault. I've already checked this out with the department manager, Mr. Gray, and something needs to be done about it. I'm taking care of the matter, as you're the one who's responsible for this mess. From today, you're not to come into the office. You've been officially fired.
Why are you firing me for? What did I do? Okay, but even though you've said that a couple of times already, I don't quite understand why this is happening. Can I explain what happened so that I can understand your decision as to why you're doing this?
I don't want to hear any of your excuses, Ronald. I'll send all the stuff that you've left on your desk later in the day. There's no need for you to pick it up. You're not to come here again.
Please don't do anything to the personal belongings on my desk. Not until I know what's going on.
Oh, so you want to play hardball, huh? You know I can play that game too. Let's just throw all your things into the garbage, shall we? Don't even think about coming by this office ever again. You've been forbidden to enter the building. Nobody wants to see your face around here again.
But sir, I don't understand why this decision has been made. But fine, I won't step a foot in the office again. I'll do as you say, sir. That evening. Hey, Melissa. Look, something bad has happened and I really need to talk to you about it. Have you got some time right now to talk? I could really use your advice right now.
Ronald, are you okay? What's going on? Did something happen?
Yeah, it's not good. I've got no idea what I did. I just got a message from Mr. Potter. It was during the day and I was minding my own business and then this. He told me that the company just suddenly decided to fire me, so he told me he was dealing with my firing.
Excuse me? What the heck? Are you saying you just got fired? Why are you even being fired in the first place? Like why now? At this time of day?
Well, if I say it how it exactly happened, it went like this. I got a message from Mr. Potter, my manager. He said that there was a mistake in the Woods Company project. He then said that he had just checked it over with Mr. Gray and that it fell on my shoulders and that it was all my fault and that I'm not to come back to the office. That's the conversation I had with Mr. Potter. I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Okay now, just hang on a second. But isn't Mr. Gray the one who makes all these decisions, not Mr. Potter? I don't understand why Mr. Gray isn't the one talking to you about what happened.
I'm curious about that too. That's why I wanted to message you about it to see what you thought. Unless if he wanted Mr. Potter to deal with this situation. It really should be Mr. Gray who reported to me about it, not a person below him. I don't get it. I guess he's your father and all, so I thought he would deal with it.
I have no idea, Ronald. No matter what way you think about it, he can't just possibly fire you without probable cause. Or at least explain himself.
I was actually planning to call Mr. Gray to talk about it to him directly. But he seemed to have turned off his phone, so the call isn't going through.
Apparently, last night he slept a lot for the first time in a long time because he said he'd turn off his phone. Well, surely he's awake right now, but I wonder if his phone is still turned off and he's forgotten to turn it back on.
Oh, is that what you think has happened? You might be onto something there.
Yeah, just hang on a minute there, Ronald. I'll listen to what he has to say on the matter. Just give me a few minutes and I'll come back.
I'm sorry about all of this, Melissa, but thank you for your help so far. I really appreciate it. 10 minutes later.
Hey, Ronald, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. I hope I wasn't away for long.
You're fine. It's only been about 10 minutes. So were you able to get anything out of him? What happened?
So, he told me that he has no recollection of any interaction with Mr. Potter regarding the Woods Company project. He said that he wouldn't let anyone do something like that while he's in his current position. It's something he wouldn't do in the first place. He would have come to you if there were any issues.
Is that right? That makes sense. I just don't understand what Mr. Potter's doing by messaging me that I'm fired.
Yeah, so that's what my father has to say about that. He seems very confused by the situation as well. Ronald, are you able to come by the house right now?
Right now? What for? What else have I done wrong?
Nothing, but I think maybe it's to discuss what's going on with Mr. Potter. I don't think it's something my father wants to talk about over a message. He said that if we could, we should discuss things face to face and talk over dinner. Also, he said the president of the company will be attending as well.
I'm sorry, what? Even the president of the company? This has got to be something really bad, right? If he's gotten involved. But would it be okay for my sudden interruption, though? I don't want to disturb if they're discussing important work-related matters.
Don't worry about that. But if you're worried about the food situation, it's okay, as I was originally planning on having food delivered today. So feel free to come over if you'd like. I'll see you later, okay? But it sounds like my father wants to eat and have a drink with his future son, Ronald. So you can chill and talk to my father. I'm sure he'll listen to you.
Oh, really? I can't actually believe that. But yes, I'll see you in a bit for dinner. It'll be nice to have a drink with your father. If that's what you want me to do, I'll come over and bother your family.
Of course. We want you to be here. Take care getting over here. I'll see you soon.
The next day, day 1.
Hey, Ronald, I need your attention right now. Where are tomorrow's meeting materials that were supposed to be on your desk? I swear they were put down here. Without the materials, the meeting can't go ahead. This is urgent. Hurry up and tell me where they are. Just because you don't work here anymore doesn't mean you can just ignore my messages.
That evening. Hey, Melissa. I wanted to thank you so much for your advice and support yesterday. I really appreciate it. I'm really glad I was able to talk to your father and the president of the company.
No, thank you for coming over and talking with him. They very much enjoyed your company.
Even so, thank you for inviting me. I never expected something like this to happen behind all the office crap that goes on.
Right, yeah. I'm quite surprised by how they interact as well. It's much more chill than an office building.
Yeah, they're very concerned about the situation, though. If that's the case, I'll wait and see about what Mr. Potter does. I'll try not to react to anything he's doing until the situation changes. For the meantime, none of it matters to me right now.
Exactly! That's a good way to put it. You don't need to worry about what Mr. Potter does until the situation unfolds.
Yeah, I know it's a little early, but I'm going to take a shower and go to bed. This whole thing has been quite exhausting. Tell your father I said hello, and thank you for talking things out with me the other night.
Fair enough. I would too in your situation. Of course I'll tell him you said that. Good night. I hope you have a good night's sleep.
Thank you, Melissa. Sweet dreams to you. Day 2.
Okay. Ronald, I'm sick of not getting a reply out of you. The materials that I asked for yesterday weren't completed. Now I've got to go to the Woods Company and tell them how sorry we are that everything has fallen behind. It's all your fault, Ronald. What are you thinking messing around like this? Ronald? Answer me, man! What does it mean that you've been absent without as much as a peep out of you since yesterday, huh? You're gonna be in some deep trouble if you're not careful.
Day 3.
Ronald! This is the 3rd time I'm contacting you and you've not answered me. Aren't you coming in today? You can't just be absent without letting anyone know about it, right? That's what I'm gonna ask. The proposal I told you to make for Jones Company. What's going on with that? I can't get into your work laptop because I haven't got a clue what the password is. So what is it? Seriously, man? What are you planning on doing about all of this?
That afternoon.
Hey, Ronald. How have you been since all the crap went down about your work? Have there been any more developments on that? Has Mr. Potter gotten back to you with anything? What has he been saying?
Hi. Oh, yes, he's been saying quite a bit. He's been sending so many messages every day over the past few days. And that same person just turned around and said that I'm absent without getting permission. I don't understand. He's the one that said I'm fired the other day.
Come to think of it, he said Mr. Potter sent a message saying that to you the other day. I might as well tell you. Mr. Potter has a really bad drinking habit.
Huh? What are you talking about? Are you saying he's an alcoholic?
Well, you know how if you drink too much alcohol, your memory starts to get worse over time, right?
Yes, I guess I've been told that before. A colleague who's accompanied me on a night out once said something like that can happen. It was a Saturday that I received his message about getting fired, so I thought he might have been working on his day off or something. He got all worked up about the Woods Company project I was working on and how I made some sort of mistake. Then he told me I was fired. But he must have still been drunk, and now he can't remember that he actually said that and thinks I'm not showing up for work. Oh my god, it's all falling into place now.
Yeah, my father has had it with Mr. Potter and that he can't handle his nonsense.
I guess if I were to look back through my message history, I can see when he was drunk or not. Maybe it's just something I didn't notice?
I suppose so. Even though he's in the same generation as my father, he still remains only a manager. You'd think he'd be in a higher job position by now.
Really? I suppose his drinking problem's holding him back and creating so many problems. Day 4.
Ronald! This is getting beyond a joke. Reply to your messages, man. What's the password for your work laptop? The department manager just asked me for the progress on another company's proposal. And it's stuck on your laptop. Hurry up and tell me the password. This is urgent. I'm sick of you no replying. Get to work on time and get on with the project. Stop being so irresponsible.
Day 5.
Hey! You! Ronald! Stop ignoring your supervisor. There's another company that's needing their proposal looked over. What the heck do you think you're doing by not replying and not showing up to work? You're going to regret ignoring me. All the companies that work for us instructed you to do everything for them. Even though I'm the one who submitted it under my name instead of yours, this is going to go very bad if things continue like this. Ronald, answer me! What's wrong with you, boy?
Day 6.
Hey! Ronald, for goodness sake! I'm here to tell you that the General Affairs Department are going to take away your work laptop tomorrow. All the documents I had to do for all these companies are also on your laptop. This is ridiculous. It's like talking to a wall. Oh yes. Isn't there also data on there that deals with the internal stuff at work? If I don't do something about it, it's going to be all my fault, even though it's all your work I'm trying to get. Hurry up and tell me the password. I'm begging you to tell me.
Day 7.
Ronald, you've not replied to a single message for a whole week. Cut the crap and reply to me right now. I'm not going to stop sending you messages until you've replied to me. My performance rating will go down if you don't show up to work. I'll come over to your house and drag you here if I must do that so I don't lose my job.
Good morning, Mr. Potter. It's quite early to be messaging me now, isn't it?
Excuse me? What do you mean by that? It's a normal time for people to be awake. You're finally replying to me now, huh? What took you so long? Don't you realize how many days you've missed? Why aren't you showing up? You're making me so furious to the point that I'm gonna pop so many blood vessels. And our department manager as well.
Even so, all the companies you were mentioning, when you think about it, you were forcing me to do a lot of the work, weren't you?
What the heck are you talking about, boy? It's normal for the boss to assign the work to his workers, isn't it? That's how it works here. You weren't absent from work without anybody's permission, and you were slacking off. I was the one that had to finish the work for you, so I sent the proposals to the companies that were requesting them. You need to get to work right now. If you get to work in the next 30 minutes, then I won't fire you and I'll forgive you for not showing up. That's what Mr. Gray has been saying to me as well.
Oh, is that so, Mr. Potter? Don't you remember saying to me that I'm fired and that I don't need to come into the office anymore?
I never said that to you. Why would I say that to you? What are you talking about, man?
Maybe it's because you were so drunk at the time you were messaging that to me, and you were just saying what your heart desired?
I haven't got a clue what you're on about. I don't remember that at all. What are you saying?
Well, it's too late to take it all back now. I would go back and check your chat history if I were you. That might jog your memory. Actually, you might want to go back even before that conversation was had. You do realize that Mr. Gray and I quit our jobs on the same day over 10 days ago, right?
Huh? What's that supposed to mean? You both quit your jobs? And you didn't say anything to me about it? Not just who you quit, but Mr. Gray as well? No way! That can't be true!
The general manager decided to start his own business, and he wanted us to join him in starting a new company. So we ended up quitting our jobs together. I assume you didn't notice that happening?
I thought he was just going on a business trip and then he'd be back soon to do his duties.
There was an announcement almost a month ago through the internal chats and through the department's morning meeting. After talking it through with Mr. Gray, he gave all my portfolios that I had for all the other companies we've worked for to another colleague. Honestly, it would be an unreasonable thing to say to someone to get back to work now when I chose to quit my job now. Wouldn't it, Mr. Potter? I wouldn't have been so bothered about it if I hadn't quit my job, but I have, and now I'm an outsider discussing confidential information with an ex-coworker of mine. That's not the best look, Mr. Potter.
But it's only because you never replied to me and it took you so long to do so. Why?
Yes, it did. I thought that you would notice eventually what's going on, but another employee had to make it more obvious to you. I couldn't bear to be so persistent, so I sent a reply like this to get back at you for the way you've been treating me.
This can't be happening right now. Are you serious? Okay, you need to tell me who each case was assigned to right now. I'm supposed to be the creator, so I'd be in big trouble if someone submitted documents without my permission or not checking them with me first.
Huh? I haven't got a clue what you're talking about, Mr. Potter. What do you mean? Isn't it no longer necessary for you to be the creator of those documents, Mr. Potter?
Huh? What do you mean by that? Why not? I don't get it. What's going on here?
Didn't anyone tell you that the company is filing for bankruptcy?
Are you kidding me? Bankruptcy? Is this a joke?
It's no joke, sir. I received a message from a former colleague saying that they had talked about it in this morning's meeting. I never thought something like this would happen to the company, so I thought the best idea was to quit before things got worse. I suppose you haven't got to work yet, so you don't know the details?
I'm on my way to work right now.
Oh, is that so? Well, I guess you didn't get over your habit of being late to work then?
Now, just rewind back a little bit. I don't get why the company's filing for bankruptcy. Does that mean that I'm unemployed from today onwards until I get another job?
Well, I guess so. If you're fine with that, I guess you've got no choice but to be employed now.
But what am I supposed to do now? I've been at this company for so long already. This has got to be the worst thing to happen to me. How am I supposed to get a job after all this happening?
I don't know. You've got to figure it out. I'm going to leave you to it. Please excuse me. After this, Mr. Potter apparently went home instead of going to work. Of course, it seems that an explanation of what happened was given in some form at a later date. There was talking about arranging a new job. Mr. Potter was so drunk that he didn't listen to everything. By the way, he's single, in his 50s, his parents have passed away, he has no siblings or family, so unfortunately not a lot going for him. He started drinking alcohol all day long thinking about what he should do with his life. One day, he was rushed to the hospital due to acute alcohol poisoning. But there was no one to take care of him, feed him, shelter him, so he didn't recover very well. The other day, he was released from the hospital and into a specialized facility. I do feel quite sorry for the guy, but I just wish he would have nothing to do with me ever again. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Mother-in-law! You entered our side of the house again, didn't you? Just because it's a multi-generational house and you can enter our side of the house by the stairs, which aren't locked, doesn't mean you can just enter without our permission. Oh, and please give me back the dress you took from my room. Huh? Are you accusing me of theft? But I would never do such a thing. Besides, it's not fit for a married woman to wear such a luxurious wine-red dress in the first place. A married woman needs to wear clothes that are less revealing and straightforward. Mother-in-law? But I haven't told you yet which dress was taken from my room. How do you know that it was that dress that went missing? Huh? As you already know, I'm a fashion designer, which means that I also have a ton of clothes. I've got at least 30 dresses, I think, yet you described the dress that suddenly disappeared from my wardrobe precisely. You do know that that's basically the same as admitting you took it without my permission, right? Well, I just happened to guess correctly which dress you were talking about. I see. So you had some sort of superpower you didn't tell me about? Should I hire some sort of magazine that deals with the supernatural to interview you or something? You see, I know someone who works for such a magazine, so I could make it happen. I mean, you do like standing out, don't you? Fine. You want me to give it back to you, right? I'll bring it to you later. Thank you. Give it back to me by today. Do you have a problem with that? But I was planning on wearing it to the theater tomorrow since I was going with some friends. But I never gave you permission to wear it in the first place. Besides, that dress wouldn't fit you. But I can't trust you, so give it back to me right now. Fine. You really are such a disrespectful wife. I'm your mother-in-law, so you need to show me a bit more respect. Says the person that just stole my dress. Honestly, I'm amazed at how you can still say something like that after being caught. Hello, Polly. I've been thinking since our last conversation. I've decided that you need to quit your job. Huh? I was looking at my phone since it was my lunch break when I saw you texted me. What is it that you want now? You see, I thought about it carefully and realized that the reason you were so disrespectful to me, even though you're just my son's wife, is because you work in such a flashy place as the fashion industry. A normal wife would be satisfied wearing a sweatshirt and some jeans and maybe even an apron. But aren't you a wife yourself? But it looks like you've got a collection of quite the flashy clothes as well. It's fine if it's me who does it. Besides, both my sons, Alvaro and Leon, are interested in fashion and work in the fashion industry. It would be embarrassing for them if their mother wasn't a stylish woman fluent in fashion, which is why it's fine if I do it. Okay, but by your logic, shouldn't the wife also be fluent in fashion? No, of course not. Especially not someone like you. As your mother-in-law, I am your superior, which means that while I'm allowed to wear luxurious clothes, you aren't. Fashion is only going to be a nuisance in your education as my son's wife. Huh? My education as your son's wife? I'm sorry, but I don't remember asking you for such an education. It doesn't matter whether you asked me for it or not. As my son's wife, you need to undergo this training, otherwise I'm going to make the two of you get divorced. What I'm trying to say is that I'm going to be kind enough to train you as this house's housewife from now on. And part of this training is going to sleep on our side of the house from now on. Oh, and don't forget to turn in your letter of resignation to your workplace today before going home, all right? You make me laugh. What makes you think that you have the authority to make me do that? You're going to make the two of us get divorced, huh? Well, good luck with that, because I doubt Alvaro is going to listen to you as well. Huh? What's with that tone of voice? I'm your mother-in-law and you have no right to speak to me like that. Apologize to me right now or else. I need to go and meet some clients after I eat my lunch, so goodbye. I don't have time to put up with your nonsense. You're saying this is nonsense? I'm not going to forgive you insulting me, your mother-in-law, like this. I was thinking about starting your training for real from tomorrow, but I guess I'm going to have to change my plans. I'm going to start training you as a housewife starting today. Get ready for when you come home. Polly! I was wondering why you wouldn't come home yesterday. But I went to see the garage this morning and it looks like you came home late at night. You're so pathetic sneaking around like this. I know that you don't want to undergo my training, but you're going to go that far to avoid it? I'm going to see you right now. Jesus, and to think I told you that I would begin your training as a housewife starting yesterday. Just what is the meaning of this? You're sleeping in longer than when you worked at your office. Although this means that you did listen to me and quit your job, I guess. I'll be a bit less strict on you for doing that. Thankfully, I brought a bucket of cold water, though, because I thought you might not want to get up. I made your bed wet as well, but I'm sure that bucket of cold water woke you up, didn't it? It's a good thing your bed got wet, I guess, because now you won't be able to go back to bed. Oh, I came up with a good idea. I'm going to wake you up like this every day now. I mean, it's the perfect way to start a day of housewife training, don't you think? All right, it's decided then. I'm going to dump a bucket of cold water on you every day now to wake you up. What? Mother-in-law, what in the world are you talking about? Come now, hurry up and come to the kitchen on our side of the house. I'll start with teaching you how to cook because of the food you make is terrible. But I had somewhere to go yesterday, so I stayed at a hotel. I never came home last night, and I have no idea what you're talking about. Huh? Wait, so you didn't listen to me and resign after all? And what do you mean you had to go somewhere? Don't tell me, but are you cheating on Alvaro? Jesus, I knew you were an incompetent housewife, but to think that you would go so far as to cheat on my son? I need to tell him about this right away. What? No, I had to go on a business trip to meet some clients. I flew to Sicily right after the conversation we had yesterday afternoon, and I'm currently staying at a business hotel. Huh? You went on a business trip to Sicily? What? Didn't I tell you this already? What are you talking about, Polly? But your car is in the garage and... I didn't use the car yesterday and I left it in the garage. What? Yeah, but you always sleep in the room next to the living room on your side of the house, right? You were in bed when I came to check on you. If you weren't home last night, then who was that person sleeping in your bed? That must have been Leon. What? Leon? Why would he be sleeping there? I heard that Alvaro and Leon both don't have work today. Alvaro told me that Leon was going to sleep on our side of the house since the two of them were going to play video games. What? Oh, and he asked me whether it was all right if Leon used my bed. I wasn't going to be home yesterday anyways, so I said it was all right. So the person I threw a bucket of water on was... It was probably Leon, but shouldn't you go back to my room and check who you threw a bucket of cold water on yourself? Hold on, did you seriously just throw a bucket of cold water on someone and leave before they could even see who it was? But there was no way it was Leon. Polly, there's a family emergency and you still haven't come home? This is your fault, Polly. Could you please not make this my fault? I never asked to have a bucket of cold water thrown on me, even though it was actually Leon you did that to. And I never asked to undergo this housewife training of yours in the first place as well. I already told you that that was a requirement if you were going to live in our house, didn't I? Besides, this is your fault because if you had quit your job just like I told you to and agreed to my housewife training, I would have been the one who had the bucket of cold water poured on them this morning and not Leon. Is that what you're trying to say? What makes you think that dumping a bucket of cold water on me would have been any better? But it was supposed to be a part of your housewife training. Unlike Leon, you wouldn't have had the right to get mad at me. Instead, though... Huh? Who do you think I am, your slave or something? By the way, Leon just called me earlier and apologized for your actions, you know. Huh? Yes, he said he was going to resign because of this. Huh? What in the world are you talking about? What does me making a mistake and dumping a bucket of cold water on him have anything to do with him resigning from his job? Well, his mother-in-law did just try and dump a bucket of cold water on the CEO of the company he works for. What? The CEO? If I was in his position, I think I would also feel responsible for this. Polly, what do you mean I tried to dump a bucket of cold water on the CEO of the company he works for? Well, I don't think there's any point in hiding it from you anymore, so I'll tell you. I haven't told you about it until now since Leon and Alvaro didn't want me to. What in the world are you talking about? Stop talking and just tell me. You seriously can't guess the truth for yourself based on what I already told you? You see, I'm actually the CEO of the fashion company that Leon and Alvaro work for. You're what? Why didn't you tell me something this important until now? You see, Leon and Alvaro came to me before me and Alvaro got married and told me that it was probably a good idea to keep it a secret from you. They thought that, judging by your personality, there was a high possibility that if you found out that I had a higher rank at the company than the two of them, you would start bullying me. But at the end of the day, it looks like there wasn't any point since you started bullying me regardless. And even tried to make me quit my job so I could undergo your housewife training. You even went so far as to try and dump a bucket of cold water on me this morning. Leon saw his mother's foolish actions and was so shocked that he told me by phone call that he was going to resign. He said that he was too ashamed at his mother's actions to continue working at my company. But all I was trying to do was train you as this house's housewife. What's so wrong about that? It's your fault for being so disrespectful to me, even though I'm your superior. Huh? So you seriously think that what you did was perfectly normal? First of all, I don't plan on becoming a housewife, and even if I did, I would never ask for this housewife training of yours. And second of all, I don't think that what you had in mind for me was training, but rather you making me do the housework for you. Anyways, Leon's not actually going to be quitting. Of course, Leon is a highly competent employee, and so him quitting would be a huge blow to the company. Which is why I convinced him to stay at the company. Oh, is that so? Good on you for not letting him quit. I guess I just panicked for no reason then. Yes. But Leon is a hard-working and honest person, so there's no way he's just going to pretend like nothing ever happened. I doubt things are just going to go back to normal, mother-in-law. You went a bit too far this time. Huh? What in the world are you talking about? What do you mean things aren't going to go back to normal? It's the same for my husband Alvaro as well. He's not just going to pretend that you didn't do anything wrong. Huh? Seriously, what are you talking about, Polly? What do you mean Alvaro as well? It seems that the two of them are going to have a discussion with you and your husband tonight at your side of the house. Please listen to what they have to tell you. Huh? Just what is going on here? Are you in some sort of plan with the three of them or something? Like I said, just listen to what they're going to tell you tonight. Well then, I'll be staying at this hotel in Sicily tonight as well. Goodbye. Polly, please do something about this. Stop my sons from doing this. I'm sure they'll listen to you if you tell them that this was all just a big misunderstanding. Oh, you're talking about the discussion you had with them yesterday, right? Wait, hold on. Are you seriously trying to ask me for help right now? After everything that you did to me? What makes you think that I would want to help you? But, of course you have to help me because I'm your mother-in-law and I'm telling you to. At this rate, the whole family is going to fall apart. Leon says that he doesn't want the girlfriend he's currently going out with to get bullied like you were by me, which is why he was going to go by his wife's last name and live with her family instead. And Alvaro said that he's going to be moving out with you by the end of this month. Well, I guess that was only to be expected, don't you think? Honestly, I'm surprised this didn't happen sooner. Not only that, but even my husband as well. He said that he's going to get divorced with me. Why? What did I do to him? Yes, I already heard about it from Alvaro. I was honestly a bit surprised to hear that your husband was going to divorce you, but I think that it can't be helped, I guess. He must have finally lost patience with you after having to live with you for so long. Why? What did I do to make him lose patience? But I was the perfect housewife. Can't you figure it out on your own? I can't. We got along so well as family up until now. Are you sure that's the case? I only heard about this from Leon and Alvaro, so I can't really say much, but apparently you were quite the difficult mother growing up. Have you ever thought about whether you've been fulfilling your role as a wife and mother in this house? Yes! Everything I did was perfect up until now. I see. So that's what you were thinking. Even when faced with the truth, you still say things like that without hesitation. You see, what Alvaro told me is that you barely did any housework and made your husband do most of it, even though you didn't have a job. Despite that, though, you kept acting like the master of the house and kept telling everyone else how to live their lives. Huh? What in the world are you talking about? I would never do such a thing. Never mind. And if I say this to you, you're just going to reject it, so I won't even bother trying to explain it to you anymore. Huh? What even is that? Who do you think you are, even? Tell me why my son and husband are doing this to me. I know. You fed them some of your lies and made them do this, didn't you? You snake. Tell my son and husband that you were the one who was wrong all along and not me. Or else. It looks like words alone won't be able to change your mind. I'm not going to talk to you about this any further, since I think it would be for your own sake if you thought about this for yourself. Huh? We're going to be moving out soon, and I don't have any intention of visiting your side of the house anymore. Hold on. Fine, I get it. I'll forgive you for being so disrespectful to me until now, so tell my sons and husband to stop this madness. Oh, and I promise I'll be nice to you from now on, so please don't move out of the house. But isn't that your problem, mother-in-law? This is why your son and husband are fed up with you, I think. Huh? What are you talking about? What do you mean my son and husband are fed up with me? Well, this is a bit early, but farewell, mother-in-law. What? Polly! I'll give you anything you want, so please just tell my family that they're making a big deal out of nothing. I don't want to be left alone. I'm already in my 60s, Polly. You can't just do this to an old woman. You should have thought about that earlier. Goodbye, mother-in-law. After that, Alvaro and I moved out without saying a single word to my mother-in-law. According to my husband, my mother-in-law was an example of a woman that was raised in a wealthy family and ended up being selfish and arrogant, expecting everyone to treat her like a princess. She must have been quite the mother to make her own son say something like that, and I unconsciously felt bad for Alvaro considering the difficult childhood he must have had. A few weeks after Alvaro and I moved out, Alvaro's parents got divorced. My former mother-in-law moved to her parents' mansion in the neighboring prefecture, which was currently occupied by her brother's family, but apparently she was told by her brother, "Aren't you a bit too old to come home like this?" She now lives with her brother's family, being avoided and given cold looks from them, and is no longer as arrogant as she once was. My brother-in-law Leon decided to get married after his parents got divorced. Apparently, my former mother-in-law only found out about this after the marriage, and now cries to herself in her room while being avoided by everyone around her.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey Robert, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm leaving my appointment to check up on my pregnancy.
Oh, was that today? I completely forgot about that.
Well, I'm actually on the bus coming back home right now. I just wanted to let you know that I was on my way back home now.
Oh yeah, now that I think about it, you did mention something about this to me yesterday, didn't you? You were talking about how you were feeling way more queasy than usual and that you wanted the doctors to have a look to make sure that everything was going well. So, anyways, what did they say? Was everything okay when you went to go to the doctors?
Yep, pretty much. They said that these things tend to happen when you're pregnant and that I was on track for a healthy baby.
That's amazing news. I'm so happy to hear that. But has there been any updates about the baby at all? Like, do we even know if it's going to be a boy or a girl?
I don't think we're going to be able to know that until we're about 20 weeks or so into this, but I guess we will find out eventually either way.
Yeah, you're right about that at least. But anyways, thanks a lot for updating me about this. I actually am just about to leave the office to go run some errands with my boss though, so I have to go right now. Sorry.
All good. Just wanted to give you an update and let you know that everything's going fine.
Got it. Well, I can't wait to hear more about that when you get home from work tonight.
Sounds good to me. Good luck at work today. You got this.
A few days later. Hey, Sam? Are you there? I just want to talk to you about something really quick.
Oh, Robert. Sure. I thought you were at work right now, though. Is now a good time to talk for you?
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I just have to tell you this right now. It's pretty important, actually.
Oh my, I see. What is it? Is everything okay?
No, it's just, well, it's been decided that I'm going to have to go on a 6-month business trip to Alaska.
Hold on a second. Your work is going to be sending you all the way to Alaska?
Yeah, it's true. Kind of crazy, I know. I tried telling management that we more or less just found out that you were pregnant to not do this, but they already made up their minds. Besides, I guess the whole reason they chose me to go in the first place is because there isn't anyone else in the office who can do what I do, and they need me up there. But I would hate to make you move all the way up there with me, especially given that we do know that you're pregnant now. I would just hate for a move like that to have any kind of negative impact on the baby.
No, you're right about that. We should be careful with these kinds of things for sure. Besides, we're only just starting to get into winter now, and I don't know if I'm ready to go to Alaska at a time like this.
Yeah, not only that, but it sounds like they're going to be working me pretty hard up there. It sounds like I won't even have that much time for myself, let alone to be with you.
I see. So basically you're saying that it would be too much if I wanted to go up to be in Alaska with you while you were there.
I don't like it either, but I think it's important that we acknowledge that, right? But I was thinking about what we could do. And maybe it wouldn't be so bad if you go live with your parents for a bit until I get back. Maybe you could even stay there until you give birth, since they're clearly more capable of giving you the support that you need.
You think I should go back to my parents' place to give birth? Well, I guess I could do that. Although I suppose if I did, I would have to find a hospital down there and just make sure they had all my files on hand.
Yeah, not to mention that you already work remotely anyways, right?
You're right about that. It doesn't really matter where I am as long as I have my laptop to be able to do my work.
Well, great. It sounds like we figured it out. Why don't you go talk to your mom and dad about this then?
I guess I will. I'll go ahead and call my dad around the time that he should be getting off work.
1 month after moving in with mom and dad.
Sam, oh my gosh, it's been forever since I've heard from you. You have no idea how surprised I was to get a message from you. Well, of course I was going to reach out to you, Chelsea. After all, I did have some big news that I wanted to share with you. That's right. A huge congrats to you on being pregnant. This is so exciting. I can't believe you're going to be a mom soon. Not only that, but I can't believe that I'm going to get to hang out with one of my best friends soon. Well, the pleasure is all mine, trust me. I can't wait to get to hang out with you too. Say, Sam, is everything okay? I don't know, you seem a little bit off, I guess. What do you mean? You can tell that just through text? Well, I wouldn't be a good best friend if I couldn't tell through text, now would I? But yeah, is everything okay with you? Well, I don't really know if I should get into this. It's okay. You know that you can talk to me about anything. Think of all that we've been through together. You're right. The thing is that Robert left on a business trip to go to Alaska, and he's going to be away for a total of 6 months. Yeah, I remember you telling me something about that in the message where you told me you were pregnant and coming back home for a bit. But what does this have to do with you? Are you okay? Did you two get into a fight or something? No, we didn't get into a fight or anything like that, and I don't think that many things happened between us. Well then, what is it? What's got you so upset like this? I'm upset because no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to get a hold of Robert. What do you mean you can't get a hold of him? You mean like when you call, the reception is bad or something like that? No, I mean that when I call him, he doesn't even pick up. And he hasn't answered a text message of mine in forever as well. This has already been going on for a month already. Wait a second, you're telling me that your husband went away on a business trip a month ago and hasn't gotten in touch with you since? Well, it doesn't mean that he's doing anything bad, right? Maybe it just means that he's really, really busy or something. After all, he did tell me before leaving that his job was going to be keeping him extra busy while he was away on work. I see. But even if he was super busy, you'd think he would still send you the occasional update to let you know that he was doing okay. Right, I mean, yeah, I guess you are right about that. It's not like him to leave me high and dry like this. Sam, are you still at your parents' house right now? Yeah, I am actually. I'm probably going to be staying here for a while, actually. Why do you ask? Well, I'm just glad that you're at home with your folks rather than at home all by yourself. I'm just glad that you have family nearby. Yeah, I agree with you there. This would be much more difficult if I had to go through this by myself. That being said, I do have to go pretty soon to make a doctor's appointment. Oh, right. I guess you do still have all that to worry about on top of Robert. Well, okay then. You take care getting to your appointment. No problem. And thanks for checking in on me. I really do appreciate it. Hey, Robert, are you there? I really wish that you would get back to me. I miss you a lot, and I just want to know that you're okay. Are you eating enough? I guess I can tell you how I've been doing. There aren't really any problems here. The doctor says that the pregnancy is going well and there's nothing to worry about. So basically, assuming that nothing terrible happens, we should be on track for the baby's delivery. I guess I'll reach out to you later when I have some more news to tell you. Hey, Sam, are you there? I was just wondering if you had a little second to chat. Oh, Chelsea, hey there. Yeah, what's up? What's on your mind? I was just wondering where you are right now and if there's anyone close to you. Close to me, as in physically? Well, I'm at home right now with my mom, so I guess that she is. I see. The thing is that I kind of wanted to talk to you about Robert. I think I have some information that you might be interested in. What do you mean by that? Well, you told me that Robert told you he had to handle some business in Alaska for a while, right? Yeah, he said that his company was sending him there on a long-term business trip. But why do you even bring that up? Do you have some news about Robert that I might not have heard? Well, first, I just want to say that I am so sorry that you're about to hear what you have to hear through me. But there was no way that I was going to keep this from you all the way until you gave birth. I think you have a right to know what I'm about to tell you, and if anything, I'm glad that your mom is nearby, because I think you might need someone after I finish what I have to say. Chelsea, please, you're starting to scare me. Whatever it is that you have to tell me, can you please just spit it out already? You're right, I'm sorry. But you'll see why I feel so bad being the one to tell you this. The truth is that Robert is cheating on you. He's having an affair. There, I said it. I'm so sorry that you had to find out this way, but he's not even in Alaska. He's only in Chicago. Wait, what do you mean by that? What do you mean Robert's in Chicago? I mean that he's really only a 4-hour drive away from where you two live. Isn't that crazy? It is, because we've never gone to Chicago together. I know, but the thing is that apparently Robert is there in Chicago with another woman who is also pregnant. Okay, wait. Hold on just a second. Let's do this one at a time. So you're telling me that my husband was never in Alaska to begin with? Instead, he's been in Chicago this whole time? That's right. And the reason that I know that is because I'm on a business trip in Chicago right now. I'm actually staying not too far from where Robert is. You're kidding me. And you're sure that it's him that you saw? I wouldn't be messaging you this if I didn't triple check that it was him before coming to you about this. I'm sorry, I don't mean to doubt what you're saying, but this is all just so much to take in at once. And you're telling me that not only is he cheating on me, but he even got this other woman pregnant? Well, thanks for coming to me with this. You're right, I am glad to know all of this now. Robert, are you there? You and I need to have a little talk, or at least I have something that I need to tell you. Remember how you were asking about whether or not the baby was going to be a boy or a girl? Well, the doctors told me that they are quite sure I'm having a girl. But I guess you're still not going to respond to me. Well, anyways, I have another appointment that I need to get to. Hey, Chelsea, are you there? I just wanted to update you a little bit on how things have been going. And maybe do a little bit of complaining as well. Sam, of course, you know that you can always talk to me about whatever's on your mind. Well, I want you to know that I got some mail from Robert the other day. It was signed divorce papers. You're kidding me. He really sent you signed divorce papers in the mail when he hasn't even talked to you? That's right. And actually, I think that Robert's parents might have something to do with what's going on. His parents? Well, what do you mean by that? Well, you remember how I hired that PI to follow Robert around? He told me that apparently his other woman is pregnant with a son. I remember how Robert's parents would complain to me all the time that when I got pregnant, I had better give them a son. They told me all about how they just wouldn't accept a granddaughter and how worried they were about someone to carry on the family name. And another thing, the divorce papers came from the city of Chicago, so you were right. He was never in Alaska to begin with. Sam, I am so sorry. Are you okay right now? Is there anything I can do for you? What do you mean by that? Well, I just mean that you don't have to pretend to be unfazed by this, you know? It's okay to say that you're upset. Well, yeah, of course I'm upset about this, but I have more important things to worry about as well. Like this baby that I have inside me. And I'm not going to let the actions of their idiotic father affect how they grow up. You know, I have a lot of respect for you, but just please let me know if there's anything that I can do for you, okay? I will, Chelsea, but I just want to thank you for all that you've done for me already. It really does mean the world to me. Hello again, Robert. I just wanted to let you know that this marks half a year from when you began to ignore me completely. I really didn't think that this was going to last as long as it did. But anyways, I wanted you to know that I filed those divorce papers. I'm going to be moving in with my parents permanently now, and I never ever want to see you again. So have a nice life, you no-good cheating lowlife.
Hey, what? What do you mean by that? What are you talking about?
So this is what it takes to get you to respond to me?
You really have no idea what you're talking about at all, do you? I send you divorce papers, and you don't even bother asking me what it could be about? You just assume that I was cheating on you? I was hoping that those papers would have made you want to be with me even more. After all, I've been busting my butt up here for our family in Alaska. How dare you accuse me of cheating?
I'm not accusing you of cheating. I'm just stating a fact, Robert.
Well, do you even have any proof of what you're talking about?
Of course I have proof. You really think I would be acting this way if I didn't know what I was talking about?
Wait, you do have proof?
Of course I do. I have proof that you're cheating on me and proof that you're not in Alaska, but Chicago. And that you're with some woman named Eve, who you got pregnant before you did me.
Wait, hold on. How did you hear about all this?
Oh, I have my ways. But if you want to know how I found out about Chicago, it was because I called your work after you weren't getting back to my messages. I told them that I couldn't get in contact with you and asked if it was because you were in Alaska, but they told me that you had quit your job. And another one of your old coworkers told me about how you were talking about getting ready to move to Chicago. You went to try and line up with this Eve woman's pregnancy as well as to be close to your parents. And when you got my message about having a girl, that was when you finally sent me the divorce papers.
But then, you must realize this means that it's all your fault that I had to leave you, right? I mean, you knew how my parents felt about the sex of the baby, so you basically closed the door on yourself when you told me that you were pregnant with a girl.
How can you say that when you were already cheating on me before we even knew what the baby was going to be?
Look, Sam, you know that my parents really wanted a son, and yet you were going to give us a daughter. Well, you know what I think that means? I think that means you were cheating on me. Why else would you be having a daughter? I want a DNA test to prove that baby's even mine. A few years later. Hey, Sam. You there? I know we haven't talked in forever, but I just wanted to tell you the baby I had with Eve, well, it turns out that it wasn't even mine. So please, could you come back to me and marry me? Because you're not going to believe this, but Eve lied to me. She told me that she was going to have a son, but she was also pregnant with a daughter. Now my family has no heir, but we're desperate. Sam, are you there? Please, you have to pick up the phone. You and I could get back together. We could try and have a second child. I'm so sorry that I accused you of cheating all those years ago. You're right, though. I was a cheater, and it was my fault for ruining our marriage. But you have to know how sorry I am. I never thought that these things would end like this for me. Please, Sam, you have to take me back. I'm begging you.
For years, I had gone back and forth about whether or not to block Robert's number. I wasn't sure if I was waiting to think of something to say to him or if I was waiting for him to apologize. But when those messages came through, I realized that Robert was never going to change who he was as a person. And I suppose that means, in some way, I'm grateful that Robert took it upon himself to remove himself from my life like that. Of course, being a single mother hasn't been easy, but at least I've had my parents to rely on, not to mention the child support checks that I was able to get from Robert. It was only later that I heard about this through the grapevine, but it turns out that Robert ended up going to the doctor after having 2 girls. But the doctors were surprised and told him he was lucky to have any children at all. Apparently something was wrong, and the doctors told him they would be shocked if he could ever have children again. So it seems that Robert is never going to have a child who can pass on the family name. After I moved in with my parents permanently, Chelsea and I were able to hang out in person more and more. It was so great catching up with her, and I told her how thankful I was for all of her help while I was dealing with Robert. It was during this time that I met her older brother and fell in love. We married about a year after I had my daughter, and I moved out of my parents' house to live with him. It's been a few years since the 2 of us got married, and I couldn't be happier. I'm surrounded by friends and family and loved ones, and I haven't heard from Robert since the last time he messaged me all that time ago. I even have a second child, a son this time, with my new husband. My daughter, Naomi, has only ever known Robert as her father, and the 2 get along amazingly. One day, when she's older, we'll tell her the long and complicated story of her birth, but thankfully, that's not for a long time. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this. Hey Marie, how are you? I saw that you were out all week. Where were you? Did you take a trip or something? I bet you took a trip with your family. Am I right? Where did you go, if I may ask? Was it overseas, maybe? Did you bring back any souvenirs? Oh, I wonder what it could be. Come on, Marie, where was your trip to? You can tell me. Oh, hello, Sandra. You're getting a bit ahead of yourself as usual. I just went with the family to visit my husband's parents over in Sanford, that's all, so no souvenirs. Sorry. It was just your boring visit to Grandpa and Grandma's house. We just sat around at home and relaxed, not sightseeing or anything. Really not much to see around there except wheat fields. Oh, really? Oh, that's no fun. It's almost Thanksgiving weekend and you went to visit your grandparents, huh? Yeah, Thanksgiving weekend we plan to visit my folks over on the East Coast. It's a bit further, so we'll stay a little longer. It's a hassle because both of us want to stay longer. We have to share our time wisely. Oh, yeah. Hey, you said your husband lives over in Sanford, right? Isn't there a big amusement park over there? Yeah, but it's like an hour's drive over there, and I heard it gets pretty crowded on the weekends. I envy you so much. You get to go all over the place. I was thinking of taking the kids there, but my folks are pretty old. They would rather relax at home. We had neighbors over for a barbecue. That was about it. Oh, really? What a waste. I heard that place was really fun, like Disneyland. A real missed opportunity. You were all there. You really should have popped over and enjoyed yourselves. The kids would have had a blast. That's why you don't have any souvenirs, huh? What a bummer. I was expecting a little something. Oh well, you sure put a damper on that. Yeah, all right. Okay, no souvenir from me means nothing for you when I come back from my Hawaii vacation. Sorry. Now we're even, right? I was planning on buying a whole bunch of neat stuff. Oh well, you really missed out, Marie. You're taking a vacation? You're going to Hawaii? Yep, that's right. This is my first time, so I'm so excited. We're leaving tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Oh, I get it now. So this is what it's all about, huh? You just wanted to tell me? Of course I wanted to tell you. What do you mean by that anyway? Nothing. Wow, how nice. Oh, sorry, Sandra. I just remembered I have to get dinner ready for the kids. I really have to go. I'm so sorry to cut this short, but we'll talk again later, I promise. Talk to you again. Bye. Yeah, okay. Bye. Hey, Sandra, are you there? Please reply. This is important. It's about your son, Kenny. He's sitting on your back porch crying his eyes out. I can see him from my kitchen window. What's going on? Did he lock himself out or something? Isn't anybody home? He seems so upset. It's getting really cold outside, so you better get him inside. I heard it was going to snow tonight. Are you even home, Sandra? I may have to go over there, you know. He's gonna freeze out there. You better get him inside right away. Huh? Relax, would you? What are you all upset about, Marie? Hey, Sandra, finally, it's freezing outside. I heard it's gonna snow later. Let him inside, the poor kid. Oh, you're talking about Kenny, right? Yeah, well, I left him out there on purpose. Pardon me? On purpose? What are you saying? What was I supposed to do? He was screaming and going on like a little monster. He insisted that I take him to Hawaii with me. Can you believe the little brat? I was going to be late catching the flight to Hawaii, so I had no other choice but to leave him out there on the porch. I mean, what else was I supposed to do, for God's sake? Anyways, I left him with that big down jacket. He'll be fine. Wait, are you saying you're not even home? Yeah, that's right. I'm in the airport limo now, heading to the airport. Almost at the terminal, as a matter of fact. But I suppose I kind of expected he would act this way. And I knew you would be in the kitchen and probably be looking toward our house right about this time. That's right, I've been monitoring you, Marie. The whole thing went just the way I planned. You planned this? What are you even talking about? I knew you'd be looking out your window. You always prepare lunch about now, and you have a clear view from that window. I knew you would see him. I had him wear that big red down jacket just in case. Worked, huh? So take care of Kenny for me while I enjoy some sun, would you? Sure would appreciate it. I'm going to be in Hawaii for a week, and I don't want to be bothered. I need some quiet time for myself with no interruptions. So I'm going to shut off my phone the whole time I'm here, just so you know. Okay then, I'm off to paradise. Take care of little Kenny for me while I'm gone, okay? Bye. Aloha. Hey, Sandra. Don't know when you're going to see this since you said you were shutting off your phone. I've retrieved Kenny from the back porch and brought him over to our house. He was freezing, you know. That was no down jacket, just a red windbreaker. What were you thinking? He's fine now, but it could have been serious if I hadn't seen him. Reply when you see this, and I mean ASAP. No reply probably means your little vacation has started and you won't see this until next week. Probably sitting on the beach about now. But you're going to see this sooner or later. I can't just let you off the hook. It doesn't feel right to just let this go. So I'm going to leave a long message for you. What? the hell is wrong with you, Sandra? I believe your husband is currently assigned overseas, right? He comes back once or twice a year or something? I remember you griping about that after our PTA meeting. You wouldn't shut up about it. Who the hell did you go to Hawaii with anyway? Was this one of those solo trips? I know it's just you and your son, but I really can't understand why you would leave your son all alone to go off to Hawaii for a week. And you leave your kid out on the porch in the freezing cold with only a thin windbreaker? How could you do that? What if I wasn't home that day? He would have been out there all night. This could have ended badly, you know? Did you even think that far? How can you even call yourself a mother? Are you just disguised as a mother, but in reality you're some evil monster? I talked to my husband about it, and he may be able to contact your husband overseas. When your husband returns, I'll return Kenny to his dad, so when you get back, contact him and work the rest out yourselves. That's all I have to say. Enjoy the rest of your vacation, Sandra. Looks like you haven't even turned your phone on yet. I guess you're keeping your word about no interruptions. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to give you a daily update about your husband. We contacted him last night, and apparently he hopped on a plane right away. He's scheduled to be back later this afternoon. Just so you know, I'll be over there when he arrives, and you can be sure I will tell him every last detail about this situation. Honestly speaking, what you did was totally inexcusable. And after I do that, we leave for my parents' home and won't be back for a few days. So even if you contact me about Kenny, I won't be able to help you out. You're just going to have to contact your husband and talk it over with him. Just don't rely on me to help. Oh, and one more thing. It seems you're not only ignoring my messages, but your husband's as well. But you know what, Sandra? Maybe people already know why you went to Hawaii. And maybe who you went with. Or maybe even details about this guy. Address and phone number, maybe? You may be pretty surprised how much everyone knows. I bet some preparations are being made. But what do I know, right? Anyways, have fun, and hope all this was worth it. Hello there, Marie. How was your week? I just arrived back from Hawaii. I had such a wonderful time. I brought so many souvenirs. The luggage weighs a ton. I'm glad I have rollers on this suitcase. Had the guy loaded onto the van and off again. Better give him a big tip when we arrive back at the house. Oh yeah, and how's little Kenny? Tell him I got him a super nice gift. He's going to love it. I really don't know how to thank you for taking care of my son this entire week. I hope he wasn't a burden on you. I'll stop by and pick him up after I return. But I have to tell you, Marie, it is so nice having such a considerate and useful person living right next door. I don't know what I would have done if you weren't here, Marie. Thanks so much for this. I hope I can count on you again in the future. I bet Kenny likes it over there. Maybe he doesn't even want to return. And I heard your cooking was pretty good too, always standing in the kitchen like a good housewife. Oh, I almost forgot. Remember when I said I would not get you a souvenir because of that last time? You remember that, right? Well, I'm keeping my word. No souvenir for you, Marie. Sorry, and eye for an eye, right? I wasn't expecting one, so don't worry about it. Oh, there you are, Marie. I was wondering when you were going to answer. You're acting a bit high and mighty. Do I sense a tinge of jealousy, perhaps? Just because you babysat my kid for a week, aren't you being a little lordy? Babysit? Your son's not over here. I'm not looking after him. Pardon me, are you saying he's not over there at your place? What I'm saying is that even if you come over now to pick him up, he's not here. Hold on a second. You saw him on the porch, then took him in, and you've been looking after him the whole week, right? I mean, come on, Marie. You found him sitting out there on the porch, and as you know, my husband is working overseas and only comes back once or twice a year. You're the one who found him, and you're supposed to be our neighbor, for God's sake. You have a responsibility to take care of him. I'm starting to see the picture. I figured as much. When you were in Hawaii, I sent a daily report of what was going on, but you had your phone shut off. And it seems you haven't even looked through your past messages. No, I never read past messages. What's that got to do with anything? I would just ask you to open up Line and check your messages for the past week, and you'll get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. If you take a good hard look at it, you'll see that it's probably not only me, but I'm guessing there are a bunch of messages from your husband and your parents. Yeah, well, it just seems like such a nuisance to have to answer back every time, so I just shut it off and enjoyed my time in Hawaii. You'd do the same. That's where you're wrong. I am way more responsible than you. You'd rather ignore all your messages and have a jolly old time than worry about your kid or your family. I hope all of it was worth it. What are you going on and on about? Was Kenny a pain in the butt or something? Don't take it out on me, Marie. Just look at your darn messages, would you? You'll know what I'm going on and on about. All right already, you don't have to get all irritated for Pete's sake. What the hell has gotten into you? What the hell is this, Marie? How the hell did this happen? How the hell did you get in touch with my husband? He's working overseas. Who told you his contact info? I certainly didn't. When you guys moved in next door, my husband was already assigned overseas. You only met him a handful of times. Did someone in the neighborhood tell you? I bet it was Miss Bennett down the street. She was always asking about my husband. Well, what you didn't know was that my husband had business dealings with your husband. They met on occasion. Business dealings? They worked together before? You never told me that. Yeah, there was some business project they worked on together about a year ago. He mentioned the company and where he was stationed, so it wasn't very hard to track him down. Are you serious? They know each other? Yep. I really thought you knew. Don't you guys talk much? Guess you figured nobody knew your husband, huh? That's why you felt safe about going to Hawaii all alone. Or was it? Anyway, your actions were despicable. You do realize that, don't you? Excuse me? How could you say that? Come on, Sandra, think about it. You put your own kid in danger. He could have frozen to death that day. What if I wasn't home and nobody found him? My God, I hate to even think about it. If someone had called the police, you could have been charged, you know? Did that thought ever cross your mind? Call the police? Are you serious? Why would anybody call the police? You make me sound like a criminal. You're lucky that there was no need for such a drastic measure. We took Kenny in, he was a bit shaken, but he was fine, and we were also able to contact your husband, so... But if the police were called, there could have been consequences. You could have been charged with a crime. To put a young child in danger like that? What were you thinking? You're kidding me, right? Oh yeah, and your husband? He said he was contemplating divorce. I would talk to him right away, Sandra. He was furious. That guy you went to Hawaii with? Yes, we all know all about this guy. Apparently, he's your boyfriend, wasn't he? The way I see it, I think you're going to have a pretty difficult time getting custody of Kenny. Sure looks like your husband holds all the winning cards. He wants a divorce and he wants custody? How was I supposed to know it would all get overblown like this? It was just a short little vacation for Pete's sake. What am I gonna do? Kind of late to be worrying about that, wouldn't you say? Hey, Marie, are you there? Please pick up. Where did my husband and Kenny go? You must know. You have to tell me. Come on. Are they at a neighbor's house? Down at Miss Bennett's place, maybe? Is that where they are? I just walked in the door and all our stuff is gone. The place is cleaned out. Where did they go? I went over to your place too and nobody's there either. Where is everyone, for God's sake? I asked Mrs. Simpson across the street and she wouldn't tell me anything. Just shrugged her shoulders. I bet she knows. Did you tell her to keep her mouth shut? I just found the divorce papers and photos showing us on the beach in Hawaii. Who took these photos anyway? Did my husband hire a private investigator? There's also a business card here for some divorce lawyer. Why? How did he find out? Why didn't you just look the other way, Marie? Not only that, my boyfriend contacted me. Apparently my husband called him and told him that I was married. He wasn't supposed to know. He just sent me a line. He wants nothing more to do with me. We had such a romantic time in Hawaii. He said he loved me, and then he drops me just like that? Was that all a lie? I can't believe this is happening to me. Where did it all go wrong? I don't want to split up with my husband. What am I going to do all alone from now on? I want my boyfriend back. After I got that line message, she evidently headed over to her parents' place, who live about an hour's drive away. I guess she's living with them now. After about a month, I heard that the divorce was finally settled. Just as I expected, her husband was granted full custody of Kenny, and she was obligated to pay a considerable amount as compensation. I also heard she had to pay the boyfriend a certain amount too. The poor guy thought she was single and was even thinking of marrying her down the line. I don't blame him for demanding compensation. With child support and compensation for both her husband and the boyfriend, I heard she was like $100,000 or more in debt. A neighbor who knows her pretty well told me that she's living with her folks and working every day to pay off that debt. At least she has somewhere to go. I bet her folks never expected to take care of their daughter again. She apparently regrets what she did and is trying to make up for it. I suppose it's a little too late for that. Anyway, she won't be going on any vacations to Hawaii anytime soon.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.